Spent my entire life from the age of 16 in customer service. I've worked in restaurants. I started as a server at 16, working graveyard shift, and then I bartended. I managed restaurants for years. I managed some fairly large chains, and I have a lot of customer service background. I've worked in training. I've trained managers. I was a general manager for years, but I also trained incoming managers, worked for the research and development team for one company. So, operations service manager. Anyway, my credentials aside, has not a lot to do with it except the fact that tips started and originated, and the acronym is what it is, and it is to ensure prompt service. To ensure prompt service. That's what it means. So when we give a tip, especially when we give an upfront tip, whether you give a maitre d' a tip to get you a good table, or you give your Doordash driver a tip to ensure your order gets picked up and gets delivered to you, to ensure prompt service, that's what people are tipping for. People that tip well, one, they appreciate people in the service industry, and they understand, they work for very little, but they deliver service to increase that money. So, if you get bad service, I don't know. I don't think I've ever not tipped, no matter how bad it was. But if you get bad service, your tip should reflect that. But if you get good service, your tip should reflect that. So, when customers leave a tip for their Doordash driver, or Uber Eats, or Uber Eats, they have a chance to change it. Grubhub, same thing. When the tips are hidden, and I actually think Uber Eats is starting to do this too, because they're catching on that Doordash is doing it, and they like to keep the competition on the same ground. They would be wise not to, because DoorDash, if the other platforms aren't doing it and DoorDash is doing it, DoorDash is going to hurt. I can't tell you how many restaurants I've walked into that I've either gotten, like the other night, Chick-fil-A, I've got like 6 pings walking in and out of that store for DoorDash that were ridiculous. One of them I would have taken. The others I wouldn't have taken. Uber Eats is going to get their food picked up if they're honest with their drivers. DoorDash is not. They're going to play that game. They're going to hurt, cut their nose to spite their face, is the saying. They're going to hurt themselves trying to challenge and hurt us. And it's not going to work. If I didn't have this challenge I'm going for right now, I wouldn't even turn my Doordash app on. I would use my other ones right now until DoorDash figures out what they want, what they want to do. But here's my point. If I was a customer and DoorDash or any platform was hiding my tip, I'd be incensed if I knew about it. I'm giving that tip so the driver knows up front. They get my food, they handle my food with care, they deliver my food with care, and they drop it off, with, the way I want it, so I can open my door if my door opens out. on a table or a chair or up on something rather than on the ground, if at all possible. Putting it in a bag, keeping it hot, keeping the, the drinks from spilling or what have you. I think it's a crime. And I'm not sure, number one, it's not ethical. I can tell you that right now. The integrity is not there. But I don't know if it's even legal for them to do that. I mean, it's not right. We know it's not right. It's not right for us, but it's also not right for the customer. And me being in the customer service industry, I think it's less fair for the customer, because if their order doesn't get picked up or delivered, and then if I'm a driver and I have a hidden tip and I'm going to take care of the food no matter what, but how does that customer, I mean, I've had people that tipped me more later, and I didn't know they tipped that much. Maybe I didn't act as that appreciative of it. I don't know. But I don't think it's being fair to the customer. Because here's the thing. Fair to me, the only thing with me is where it's not fair is I may pass up a good order. But there's plenty of orders out there. There's orders coming through constantly. I mean, I can go out in 3 hours and make $60. I can make 100, 150 in a day if I really hustle. Right now, I don't want to go out in the heat, that's why I'm not doing it. But something to think about. And I am a customer, and I do, but I won't order from the Doordash platform anymore, because I think that's unethical, and I think it's, for me, it's an integrity issue. And I don't know. Tell me what you think. Leave it in the comments, because I'm really interested on how other people are perceiving this whole thing. It's more than just them playing a game with the driver. They're playing a game with the customer. And I think in the end, I've seen great companies do stupid things and sabotage themselves, thinking they're gonna squeeze a nickel or a dime here or there, and there's an old saying, you kill the goose, you don't have any more golden eggs. So that's what they're doing. They're killing the goose. And it's sad. It's sad. But you know what? There'll always be apps. It's like restaurants. Restaurants do themselves in. Companies will do themselves in, but someone else will come along and take their place. So I'm not worried about there being a platform for me. But Doordash should really look long and hard about their strategic thinking, because I think it's going to backfire on them. I think it's going to backfire. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'm going to go, and you have a good night. I'll see you here tomorrow.